Hello everybody! As this is my first serious video that I've decided to put on YouTube, I thought I might as well talk about a game that I've thoroughly enjoyed. So far I've got a chance to try many genres and I feel I've gathered some experience in understanding a game. It's been a passion of mine since I was about 4 years old, and I think it's time to do something more productive with it. Now I know there are many reviews and analysis videos out there that are doing a great job. I'm not here to compete with anybody, just to share some of my ideas and observations I've picked up while playing a game. All I'm hoping is that those who watch this video will get something useful out of it, and maybe some of you who haven't played the games I'll be reviewing will get a clearer view about them. That being said, I'd like to tell you a story. My story with Hollow Knight. Many spoilers ahead. If you don't want to play the game first, please, I recommend you do so beforehand. Once upon a time, or to be more precise, on 24th of February 2017, a game that's been successfully kickstarted and was in development for quite some time saw the light of day. Team Cherry brought Hollow Knight upon us. Unfortunately, it took me 3 more years to finally decide to try it out after repeatedly hearing about it. About 2 months ago, I've started my journey through the land of Hallownest. But that journey had to start at one of the most beautiful title screens I've ever seen. When I saw there were more themes to pick from thanks to all the DLCs, I decided to go with the one I felt the strongest connection to. As a first impression, Hollow Knight made my expectations go through the roof, and I can say it didn't disappoint later on. The game gently offered its hand, and I took it, as it showed me a scene I'd only later understand. You see, one of the most beautiful things about this game is the way the world was built. Everything in this particular universe seems connected, and every single creature, object or location has a story to tell. From that first most vital cutscene, to the sculptural style of the relics found all throughout the game. Your adventure happens in the enclosed land of Hallownest. There is no way to get out of here, but I never felt like I wanted to. There are so many places to explore and so many things to do, because, you see, the map is pretty big. The first areas I went through felt a bit slower for me, as I was still figuring out the controls, because I wanted to play this game with a controller, even though I haven't used one since 2008. Going further and further, I was just beginning to grasp the size of this whole thing. And again, all those areas were not only physically connected, but also at the story level. One of the most notorious examples is the rain in the City of Tears, which comes from the lake above. But there are a lot of details that can be found all around the map, pointing at a civilization of bugs that spread out as far as it could. Their story starts with a so-called Pale King that made them reason and no longer behave like mindless creatures. As they started thinking, however, they began to lose their primal instincts, and so, when this terrible plague arrived, they easily succumbed to its desires. Only a few were left untouched. As I wandered through the depths, I managed to save a couple of them from their clouded vision, making them see reality once again. It was not incredibly difficult. All it took was some warm-hearted conversation, where they did all the talking. Actually, I'm not really sure what I did. Maybe just my presence was enough for them to wake up? As they returned to the only town that's above the ground, Dirtmouth, they went on with their lives, becoming trading partners for me, or even falling in love. Though that one in particular doesn't seem like a very healthy relationship to me. One thing that I never questioned up to this point was my origins. Yes, I fell from the sky, as you do, but where did I come from? When I stumbled upon the City of Tears, and more specifically, the statue of the Hollow Knight, a theory came to mind. I thought I was the descendant of the creature shown here, and I had to take upon myself whatever task was left uncompleted. Maybe I'll find the Hollow Knight's corpse somewhere in the depths of this world, and I will continue its impossible quest. I shortly found out that all my reasoning was not in accordance with the game's story, but I still enjoyed that moment. That's what all this world building added up to. It made me think and wonder. Even though you could say this game is technically a Metroidvania and all you have to do is find the right skills to push through the levels until you beat the final boss, the atmosphere and details carefully put all around it make up for a more thoughtful experience. Everything is tied together beautifully to make the world believable, and I never felt like I got bored of what I was offered, especially when I found her. What increases the quality of the atmosphere furthermore is the music. The song played in the main menu was easily imprinted in my brain from my first audition. The calm, relaxing music found in the little city above ground made for a perfect spot for taking a rest after a few hours of fighting. And if it comes to that, the music that pops up during battles puts you right in the mental state to try your best to defeat your foes. While exploring, I found many spots where I was hypnotized by the serenity of it all. It felt like the game knew when to slow down to give you a well-deserved breather. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I have to say that I was completely involved in the plot and the atmosphere of the game. There might be people who are not as attracted to those aspects and want to see if the game is worth playing from a gameplay point of view, so let's talk a bit about that. I don't have a lot of experience with this type of game, only having played Rogue Legacy, Ori and the Blind Forest, Shovel Knight and Blasphemous from this genre. From my perspective, it seemed pretty difficult at first to overcome the challenges put up by the game, and there are some challenges I haven't dared try yet. There are a lot of ways to end your life while running through those mesmerizing labyrinths, and it's much more depressing or infuriating when you die while trying to get back to your previous death spot. When you die in this game, a cute shadow of your former self pops up in that exact spot, floating about and waiting for you to defeat it to retrieve your money, called Geo. Well, this happens if you did not choose to play on Ironbug mode, in which case you don't have to worry about retrieving anything, cause you just pop back in the menu and get the chance to try once more. From the beginning. That's if you still haven't uninstalled the game, but if you got to this point where you are able to play on Steel Soul, then it means you finished the game at least once, so I would guess you enjoyed it. Leaving those unfortunate deaths behind, I want to tell you a bit about the creatures in this world and the fighting styles you can adopt to defeat them. I am most certain that the only reason you are killing almost anything that moves is because they are all infected with the plague. Or some are slightly in your way. Or you just want to add to your hunter's journal. That bad boy won't complete itself. In each area you will find different critters, some harmless, usually running from you, some minding their own business without paying attention to you, and some more introverted types who are triggered when you're getting too close. Those are the ones you'll find while roaming around, but sometimes you'll meet a big one, and that's when things get interesting. You'll get to fight a wide variety of bosses, and almost all were challenging for me when I first encountered them. For most of them, you'll have the choice to leave them be and return when you are more powerful. But where's the fun in that? Embrace the pain of your fingers and the screams you can almost hear coming from your controller or keyboard and try again and again. After you've learned the moves or you just got lucky at the last moment, you can wipe the sweat or tears from your forehead. In the end, it was not that bad, but it's a victory worth celebrating. And how else could you better celebrate than go fight another boss right away? Honestly, it felt rewarding getting past some of the most annoying bosses in this game, but now when I look at speedrunners defeating all the bosses in just 3.5 hours, I realize how good you can get at playing Hollow Knight. Our hero is equipped with a powerful nail, special abilities that you acquire by carefully exploring the map, and charms. Those come in a variety of colors and shapes that not only make you look good, but also help you out by empowering your traits and skills or adding new ones. The only rule you must obey is you only have a limited number of slots to place those items into, which encourages you to try different. I found out about overcharming yourself in my second playthrough, and I was fascinated by the idea. It changes a lot of things, because you do take twice the damage, but you become stronger than you were normally supposed to be. This is going to come in useful when you get around to fighting in the Pantheon of Gods. But that is a story for another time. In the wake of the upcoming Hollow Knight Silksong, it is a perfect moment to play the first game in the series. It has style, it has charm, it has elegance. It's what you didn't know you had to play until you tried it out. I invite you to explore this wonderful world, taking the atmosphere from the highest peak to the deepest, darkest caverns. Submerge yourself in the story and find as many of its secrets as you can, or challenge yourself to defeat all the bosses in the most difficult manner. For me, every second of playing Hollow Knight was worth it, and I hope it was, is, or will be the same for you. I'd like to thank a friend who has recently started making video game reviews on YouTube and has inspired me to try it out as well. Go and check out his channel. He does a great job at covering all sorts of titles, such as Disco Elysium, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, and Sunless Skies. Thank you for coming along, and I hope you enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves and your elderbugs, and stay safe, friends. Until next time.